So hello again everyone. This is the fourth video in the series on love. I really recommend that if you haven't seen the first three videos, you watch them before jumping into this video. Some of the things we're going to talk about will make a lot more sense once you've seen the first three videos. Definitely watch video number one before watching this. Then you can watch number two and number three at different times if you want. Watch this to the end, because right at the end I'm going to talk about a lovely exercise that you can do to really just A, feel amazing, and B, take your kind of level of inner love and your awareness of it into new territory and strengthen your ability to love and to be loved. But this video is about bringing love to yourself. So in the first video, again, we talked about the Causal Chakra, and that is the kind of doorway to letting love in. And we talked about the spirit, and that is where you store unconditional love and love. Unconditional love is stored there permanently, love is stored there temporarily, and therefore you need to be constantly being loved in order to build it up. And one of the key things to understand, we're going to be talking in this video about bringing love into yourself, so not receiving love from other people. Love that you bring into yourself, whether it's unconditional love or love, cannot enter into your spirit. This is so important. The love you have in your spirit, which is especially the unconditional love in your spirit is permanent. Once it's in there, it's there forever. The love you have in your spirit, provided you're constantly being loved, will stay topped up. These energies in your spirit are there because other people have sent them to you. It's a reflection of how loved you are. It's not a reflection of your ability to love or how hard you try to love or anything like this. And this is the same for everyone, so we're all in this together. The only way to be more complete and full of love is to have been loved, and therefore the more we love the people around us, the more they love each other, the more love there is going around, the more likely you are to be loved, and therefore all of us are uplifted. Okay, so we really are all connected, and love is so important in understanding what it is to be human. So one of the nice things you can do though as a human being is you can bring love to yourself, because we have this gift, this causal chakra. Let's start with unconditional love, okay? So when we're talking about unconditional love, we're always talking about channeling, because it doesn't come from you, it always comes into you or through you. So you'd simply sit there and say, I channel unconditional love to myself or into myself. Eyes closed. Stay away from visualization. Anytime you do visualization, it keeps you out of stillness and it keeps you in your mind. It's a mental activity. So visualizing love flowing, unconditional love entering you, your causal chakra activating or anything like that is actually counterproductive. So we're not doing visualization, we're just simply having the intention vocalized within our minds. I channel unconditional love into myself. And try and avoid, if you are someone that does a lot of meditation, don't slip into doing meditation while doing this, because if you're meditating, you're not able to then be channeling, okay? One or the other. Really good time to do this is either at the start of a meditate, or if you find it easier at the end of a meditate. What I advise is try both, see what works best for you, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to say, I channel unconditional love into myself. Because you're putting it into yourself, it doesn't matter what you do with your hands. When you're channeling it to others, your hands need to be open. So just sit comfortably. To be full, you need to do this for about 10 minutes. And what's happening is it's coming in and it's coming down, actually past the heart chakra, into the solar plexus chakra. And after 10 minutes, the solar plexus chakra will be full. It will take about an hour for that unconditional love to discharge into what is known as the heart center, which is this storage place for unconditional love and for love. And it takes another 2 hours for the heart center to actually settle down. Unconditional love is, wow, it's powerful stuff, okay? So it's a bit like shaking up a snow dome. It takes a while for everything to settle down. So if you sat there and channeled unconditional love into yourself, you're going to have to wait at least 10 minutes, at least 3 hours before you're able to do it again. Okay, so you're going to bring it down into yourself for 10 minutes. If during those 10 minutes you feel like you need to regain your focus, then just say, from the stillness, just repeat the words, I channel unconditional love into myself. You can only do this because of the way the chakra systems work, to do with different timings and stuff. This is only possible between 6 a.m. in the morning and 10 p.m. at night. So you cannot channel unconditional love into yourself after 10 p.m. at night or before 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay? When we're talking about unconditional love, you have to be as neutral and unconditional as possible. So it really helps to practice sitting in stillness. Meditation is a wonderful thing. The journey of discovering about love is also runs, hand in hand with the spiritual journey as well. So definitely be looking at meditation, and there's loads of free guided meditations. In fact, the first guided meditation is called Stillness and Love. So that's a really good one to look at. But what I'm getting at here is, if you're full of expectation, if you're full of desire, or worse, if you've got ego in you at the time, look how amazing I am, I'm channeling unconditional love to myself, or anything like that, you're just going to block it. It's not going to happen. You have to just be neutral. You have to be the space that allows the unconditional love to fall into it. Okay? And this comes with practice, but it's worthwhile just sitting there and having the intention. So I channel unconditional love into myself. Let's talk about bringing love into yourself. So again, if you haven't seen video number 1, love is pure, it's neutral, just like unconditional love, but it's a slightly weaker. Love at its strongest is 80% the strength of unconditional love. It's normally about half the strength. They're slightly different energies. They all come from the same source, but where they are found throughout the different spiritual dimensions and realms, and the lower dimensions and realms, varies. And love, by the way, can be done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can, even if it's 10:30 at night, if you can't do unconditional love into yourself, you can do love. So almost identical. Words are so powerful, and intention is everything. So again, you would sit with your eyes closed, no visualization, no trying, no striving, just being still, being neutral. And you'd simply say, I fill myself with love. And it's as simple as that. Again, 10 minutes to be full, but unlike unconditional love, you can keep going. So if you keep going, it just keeps happening. Okay? And the way that it's working is the love is coming in through your causal chakra, it's coming down the neutral energy meridians, and it goes into your heart. And in your heart, if you watch the previous video, the love energy cannot directly go into your soul, but what it does is it once it's in your heart for a while, it slows down, or it lowers in vibration and becomes joy, and that joy is taken around your body via the blood, and blood is liquid joy, and nourishes every single part of you with joy, and it also nourishes your soul. Now, if you want to build up your store of love, then there is a variation on this. So the second variation of bringing or filling yourself with love is to use these words. I fill my heart center with love. And again, this can be done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 10 minutes to be full. Okay? Actually, it's slightly different with the heart center. It can take more than 10 minutes. So again, it still comes down through the causal chakra, down the neutral meridians, but it bypasses the heart and it goes to the solar plexus and then into the heart center, which runs from the solar plexus to the throat. Okay, so it fills up from the bottom up. The love that you put in your heart center will eventually diffuse or radiate out of your heart center into your aura. And in your aura, apart from the fact that it just uplifts you and nurtures you and sustains you, it triggers emotions. The emotions of joy. Sorry, the emotions of being loved. And those emotions follow the cascade that emotions end up in the heart, nurturing the soul, releasing vibrant energy into the soul and colour into the soul and making your soul more colourful and vibrant. and then joy is released and again flows around your body. So you can fill your heart center with love. And what I want to talk about is an exercise I call overflowing. All right? So it doesn't matter up till, excuse me, someone's just driving past. It doesn't matter up till now what your relationship with love has been. This is your personal journey. This is about you. This is not about other people. This is not about receiving or sending love. This is bringing it to yourself. Okay? So you would sit with the intention to fill your heart center with love. But you would intend to overfill it. So when you feel full, you keep going. And that love is very quickly going to fill up your aura. And you keep going. And you say, okay, my heart center is full, and it overflows into my aura. And it radiates out and fills all the different layers of my aura. You don't need to be specific. Do not visualize. The moment you start visualizing, you start getting in the way of letting the magic happen. Okay? So once it's overflowing into your aura, and your aura is becoming more and more imbued with love energy, keep going. And you can say, right, and I flood the love, or I fill my my mind with love. I fill my mental body with love. I fill my emotional body with love. And you start listing all the different parts, my aura, my chakras, you just fill yourself with love. And you will feel it. I mean, don't go looking for the sensations, because that's a surefire way of just blocking everything. But something will happen, and just go with it, because there is no such thing as too much love. Any love that goes into your environment is going to help bring about balancing of any imbalances in that environment. That might be that someone near you just feels better. That might be that a heavy atmosphere, if you've ever been in a room after an argument, just gets lifted. Who knows? But love always goes to where it's needed. So if there's a surplus of love, it doesn't get wasted. On that note, love energy that's released into the third dimension in the atmosphere doesn't hang around very long, because there's so much imbalance on the third dimension. And before we get all critical, that's the way it's meant to be. We are in duality down here. It has to be this way so that we can love. It doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean that sometimes it's way out of balance, and that's not a good thing. And when there is a lot of imbalance, and there's a lot of anger or hatred and things like that, what the world needs is love. Okay, it doesn't need more of the same. It needs more love, because love is the great balancer. Love is the great reconciler. It's the great bringing together of opposites, And so this is such a wonderful exercise to do. So bringing love to yourself. So that's it. We've gone over in the 4 videos. Just to recap, video number 1 was what is love, and we looked at love, the spirit, sending love, bringing that it can be brought down, that it can be received. We talked over the causal chakra, the heart center, the heart chakra, the heart. We looked at the history of love. We looked at connectedness, which is just such an amazing thing to kind of get your head around. And then the second video, we looked at loving others, so sending love to others, sending unconditional love to others, and what happens when you love people, which is just such a wonderful thing. I hope everyone has the potential to explore that, because they do. Just let love in, that's a clue. And then receiving love, talking about letting love in. So what happens when you receive love? And then in this video, we've talked about bringing love to yourself. You know what? I just want to finish with a thought. I mean, there's 6 pages of notes here, and I've written long chapters now on the nuances of love and the exact routes that love takes through your different chakras and the different qualities, and exactly where love comes from and where it goes and what happens. And you know what? When you start to get information, when we start to talk about facts, the mind revels in this. The mind gets all excited, and and wants to understand, and then gets all full of itself when it thinks it's understood something. Don't lose sight of the fact that love is a miracle, that love is the most amazing gift that comes from the source, that comes from God, that comes from unity. It doesn't matter if you understand. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if you can philosophically talk about it at length. That's not getting the point. The point is that it is one thing to have information, but the purpose is to be loving. So I've talked about exercises, I've talked about things that you can do. The learning is in the doing, not the understanding. I give you the information so that you can know where to begin, so that you have some direction. It's not complete. It can never be complete, because all information is a limit. If there are 1,000 facts to know, even if you knew them all, you can only recall them one at a time. And the universe is much, much bigger than that. There isn't enough time in any lifetime to truly fathom the depths of things. So these are just pointers. Don't get caught up in the intellect. It's like I talk about the virtues from time to time. The virtues are the cornerstone of a lot of what we're talking about here, because ultimately they lead towards unconditional love. It's one thing to be able to say what they are. It's another thing to live them. It's one thing to understand the mechanics of love, but it's a far greater pursuit to be loving. So take from these 4 videos what's useful. Don't get caught up in debate. Don't worry about understanding. Just be loving and be loved. I wish you all lots of love. Peace be with you all.